Waiting them bilateral relations, then they do. Then they have to provide opportunities for one, trade and investment. Trade and investment through them bilateral relations, we don't see like China. China, one of the largest trading partners, and today, I just come off from China for meet with the foreign minister. One of the key efforts which China they try to do for Sierra Leone, now for transform Sierra Leone into the 6th largest producer and exporter of steel to China. You know what that means for the country? It means jobs, it means finance, it means credibility. So this is now one example of a bilateral relations.
Then why would you cancel a project of this magnitude? Let's read it together real quick before I start playing any videos here. I want you guys to see this. Sierra Leone has cancelled $400 million, which is the equivalent of 304 million pounds, Chinese-funded project to build a new airport outside the capital, Freetown. Former President Nkrumah signed the loan agreement with China before he lost elections in March.
An excellent relationship, and it is improving by the day, even though we have a very excellent relationship now. It is based on respect for each other, and there is trust and confidence. We have supported each other over the years. China, we supported during their bid for the United Nations membership. And over the period, China has also contributed substantially in our overall economic efforts. They are very much involved in our infrastructural development. They are involved in our private sector activities, including investment in the mining, in the tourism, and they are very much involved in the training of our youths and professionals. We have a huge number of Sierra Leoneans being trained. Some go out there on short refresher courses, and some on longer courses, and some go through academic programs and professional programs that is helping to build the capacity of the country.
Xi Jinping welcomed Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio to Beijing ahead of next week's forum on China-Africa cooperation. President Xi said the two countries have been friends through good times and bad ever since they established diplomatic relations 47 years ago. He said China wants to maintain high-level exchanges with Sierra Leone and expand investment and cooperation in infrastructure, education, and other fields.
发展是否习近平主席的对他的两国建交半个多世纪以来，无论今年呢是习近平主席提出真实亲诚对非政策，也感谢您对我本人。
Pleasure to be here, and let me, on behalf of my hospitality that we have received, Your Excellency, Ni Hao. Let me convey to you, and through you,
Sam, welcome back to the African Diaspora News channel. I am Wangil Zelalem bringing you this report. I don't know what Sierra Leone is trying to do, but it's not looking good. Anyways, let me tell you the story. Sierra Leone just sold, I believe, 100 hectares of beach and rainforest, which has animals, species where they're going extinct. So it doesn't make sense. And you know why they sold it? They sold it for like $55 million. And the Chinese bought it to construct industrial fishing harbor. They sold it for that, their beach and rainforest, that will be devastating for the environment, not to mention now it's owned by the Chinese. And on top of that, the people were protesting, asking, begging, activists were requesting to see if a study has been done in that area, how it's going to affect the environment, Sierra Leone, and also the earth as a whole, all of us. And no answer from the government, nothing. And just like that, it is sold. I'm speechless. This is happening now, in this day and age, when information flows, when we all can connect and we know how it goes. We know how, China is buying out ports and giving out contracts that are shady. And I just did a report about Democratic Republic of Congo's President Felix, talking about how it's messed up, the contracts they had, the previous government and the people in power, how they just sold their country out. And with all the information you have as a government, how does it make sense to do that to your people? You just sold your beach and rainforest. At this point, I really don't know. I just don't know how else can you communicate. It's not like back in the days when you don't get information unless and otherwise you send it through a bird, tie it to a bird. And if it, like, how can you do that to your people and you have the power to change people's lives for the better, and then you sell it for $50 million? I'm speechless, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's about it. You guys let us know down below, and if anybody's watching it from Sierra Leone, let us know how do you feel about this, and do you think it's going to affect Sierra Leone in the long run? I am Angel Zalalam bringing you the story. I will see you on the next one. Bye.
I'm putting down all the details in this report.
This is a video from a mine in Sierra Leone. Watch how this Chinese national, who is the manager of the mine, shouts at a worker and barges towards him. And the moment he attacked the worker gave it back with a kick and a slap.
He's on record, leave him, leave him.
The enraged Chinese worker then came armed with a stick and barged towards the worker, attacked him, while other workers tried to restrain him. The efforts to contain him were in vain, and the worker was then seen kicking the Chinese manager hard. The Chinese national is reportedly a manager with the China Railway 7th Group Company. The tussle broke out at the Tonkolili mine site after the manager of the Chinese government-owned company forced workers to participate in a training exercise after the workers' scheduled workday. Enraged citizens of the African nation reportedly called for the Chinese manager to be arrested, charged to court, imprisoned, and then kicked out of Sierra Leone after serving his prison term. As per the local media reports, the Chinese company resolved the conflict between the employees after the African country's union groups and the government called major businesses operating in the country to follow labor laws of the land.
today, in that level of transparency, because we want to make things open, things known to the public. Of course, this has been the center of discussion in Sierra Leone about our national stadium. Since it was brought to a halt from all sporting activities, I think there has been so many concerns from people out there. What's going on? What's this? Even people want to have access to the stadium, but because of it has been handed over to the Chinese, I think there has now been a restriction for each and every person that has no business with the stadium to intrude. So, as a minister, my PS here, the National Sport Authority, so we thought it fit, because we have been receiving so many calls, even from international levels, that what's going on. We're keeping people, away from knowing the fact, or from knowing from what's happening with our national stadium. Yeah, today you are here because, of course, I've been having some altercations with some people. Some people, in fact, refer to this project as a white elephant, because since it was, it wasn't started the very time that they think the project was to be started. So we are here today as a one family, because journalists, of course, you've done very well. This is what I always.
Man, the dirty all the go sir. Ilongo. What's it gonna go do with dirty now?
23, 24, 25, 26.
My man and I'll do it for me so.
29, 30, 31, 32, 34,
Cabeça de pacote.
37, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49.
This is pass 100. This is pass 100. Yeah? 189 goes and so. What is it to hungry day, Loda? Not too hungry day.
I'm actually Loda. I'm feeling that.
Ada video